Perfection is an illusion. That is my message in this video. I spent years of my life trying to sound as good as some of the musicians that I was inspired by. And then one day I was told by a teacher 20-something years later that most of what I've trained my ears to listen to and believe that it was a part of perfected performances was just stitched up little portions of other recorded versions that was put together. It was both liberating and heartbreaking at the same time. Liberating to understand, to finally come to this level of peace that I was okay as a musician. And heartbreaking because I had spent years of my life trying to attain a level of perfection that was perhaps impossible. So perfection is what we need to get rid of. Consistency is welcomed. Excellence is welcomed. Discipline is welcomed. Perfection, get out of here. There is nothing to perfect. It's simply put, in the game of life, there is nothing to perfect. There's a lot to clean up, a lot of mess to get rid of. There's a hell of a lot of consistency, being able to show up every day. You don't have to get anything right. You just gotta show up every day. There's discipline in that. Holding yourself accountable for the mistakes as they happen. Holding yourself accountable for things that don't go in your favor and the things that do go in your favor. Holding yourself accountable for every bit of it. Perfection is not a part of that. Perfection is the illusion we've been told. Perfection is the illusion we've been told based on a society that's constantly trying to produce the next best thing. And in a competitively driven culture, which is all for the better. I'm not here to criticize any of it. The part that I do have a problem with is that we do not teach the generations as they come up the value of perfection and the difference between perfection and excellence. We do not teach what is possible to attain and what is perhaps impossible to attain. We classify everything as perfection. Even the word, the sentence, the phrase, practice makes perfect, it's just completely false. And yet, I see parents teaching that to their little kids all the time. Practice does not make perfect. No, that doesn't exist. Practice can get you closer to excellence. Practice can perhaps get you closer to a version of a perfected moment within a variation of different performances. So it gets you close to one perfect take, but not pure perfection. We don't teach that. Why don't we teach that is almost irrelevant. I'm not sure, honestly. But I'm well aware of and what I need to focus on is that due to our inability to teach that concept, we now have grown-ups in this society that are paralyzed. Because in a world where you're trying to be perfect all the time, and perfection is a mathematical impossibility, how can you get anything done? You're now paralyzed. You are doing yourself a disservice. You are incapable of getting anything done because you're constantly expecting something that is never going to occur, which is that perfection, that illusion. How do we get rid of perfection? You have to remind yourself through a lot of practice, lots of self-love, lots of self-acceptance, that your flaws, quote unquote, the things that you consider as flaws about you, are exactly what make you unique, or exactly what makes you special. So perhaps perfection in the craft you're pursuing, in the career you're pursuing, in the work and the life you're pursuing may never come your way, but that uniqueness, that raw sense of authenticity, what makes you who you are, and no one can compete with who you are because you don't exist in any other format on this planet, that's the greatest gift you have, my friend. That's what makes you special. And when you finally comprehend that in a world where you are special and nobody can match your work anyway, there's no need for perfection. You just have to be. There's no need for perfection because there's no competition to be had. You just have to keep consistent. You just have to maintain discipline. You just have to correct your mistakes along the way, learn from your own mistakes, and continuously perfect your work. Make your work better. There's no need to achieve perfection. Achieving perfection comes from the illusion of a competition. There ain't any of that, because there isn't a version of you walking around. This is the most powerful part about life. Understanding how unique every single one of us are. Understanding our tiny little flaws that give flavor to who we are. That flavor is what makes the dish delicious. That flavor is what makes the dish unique. That flavor is what people travel thousands of miles to learn that specific recipe from that specific chef, right? The flavor is you. The flavor is within you. The flavor has always been with you. You don't have to do anything about it. You just have to commit to the path and allow the mistakes to come up. And those mistakes are the flavors we're speaking of. Those mistakes, those flaws, those imperfections are the flavors that we're talking about. Allow them to come. Allow them to flourish. Allow them to polish up the person you've always meant to be. Don't hide away from that person. Don't run away from that person. That person needs you in order to show you how you can be in service of this world. That's your wealth. You understand? That is true wealth that cannot possibly be purchased for any price because it's your life. I'll leave you with it. Thank you.